Good evening, everybody. This is Societal Deconstruction Podcast, and my name is Boat.
And I'm Shaggy.
Shaggy.
Shaggy, Scooby-Doo.
How you doing tonight?
I'm great. Better than I was months ago.
Are you the real Shaggy from Scooby-Doo?
I am. And I'm very hungry. I want some Scooby snacks.
Is Scooby still alive?
Of course.
Oh, good.
The whole, what is it? The Dream Machine or
The van.
the van? Velma, Fred, they're all doing well.
Good.
That's good.
That's good to hear. That's great to hear. Well, we're going to be doing a little podcast this evening for everybody's listening pleasure. And Shaggy was actually with us on episode 6, Talking Trauma, Breaking the Silence. So we're going to talk a little bit about where he was then and where he is now today. That was probably, back in, May that we did that one?
Yeah, I believe so.
I think it was. And we're on actually episode 15 tonight.
It's an honor to be here.
Oh, thank you so much.
For, you and all of our listeners, all 70,000 of you.
We appreciate our 5 listeners that we have. And I do apologize that we haven't gotten a podcast out. It's been a minute.
Well, it has, but it's a process,
It is.
It's not the easiest to get people together and everything set up. It's a whole process.
It's hard to get me and you together and set up the microphone.
Yes, we're busy schedules.
And I've been sick, I will confess.
Well, anyways, you want to ask questions or?
Sure.
Ask me a question or?
Yeah. So, back in May, when we did the original, Talking Trauma, Breaking the Silence episode, where do you think you were mentally?
That's a good question. At a good place, but not at a great place. You ever ask someone how their day is and they're like, good. It's not like an awesome day. It's just a decent one.
I think you were like interested in bettering yourself. You wanted to better yourself. You just weren't quite sure how to get there yet.
Yeah, and I've had some episodes since then, where I've like lashed out and, wanted to, lash out, angry at the world for what I experienced, what I went through, trying to understand like what was the purpose, like why me, and so here today, I feel like I finally understand and have that closure, and I just wanted to share that with the listeners, and
That's nice. That's a nice place to be. That's probably hard to get there. Very hard to get there. Do you know why?
In my opinion, I went through it because God, in my opinion, knew that I was strong enough to, go through that and share my story with other people who may not be as, not to say strong or, but just to help other people that are going through the same thing,
And I think to make you a stronger person in general too.
Correct.
I mean, you were already strong enough to make it through and, survive and get through, being an adult and stuff. But I bet it made you stronger to begin with too. We should probably touch on it, a little bit about what happened too, so for the listeners that didn't listen to episode 6.
Yeah, for sure.
Does it sound like we have a sick dog in the background?
It does. Can I let him out?
Yeah, go ahead.
Let me let him out.
One moment, folks.
Come on.
Ava, go outside.
Outside.
Ava, go outside. Go outside.
They don't want to go outside.
Yeah, no, they don't want to go outside.
Okay, well, back to the topic.
Coco and I both have congestive heart failure. No, Coco does.
But no, I mean, just little things like that, used to trigger me, especially when you're talking about something so personal. It would just trigger you and put you in an angry place. But
what if you're talking about something personal and then you had a dog coughing in the background?
Or anything
that would interrupt you from being able to get out what you were trying to get out, and then it would piss you off.
It puts you in a place where you're so vulnerable, and
like here I am trying to tell my story and I can't even get my story out.
And I used to I used to wake up mad. I would like roll out of bed and just automatically have anxiety. My heart would be
Oh,
racing, and I would freak out, I would cuss out the world, and so my mom would like, be afraid to wake me up, and
that's crazy.
yeah,
But not really.
no, I mean, but I don't do that anymore. I wake up and I'm happy,
I
It's
had
like,
periods of my life where I did that when I was younger,
yeah,
and I didn't even have that kind of trauma.
yeah, because you know, one thing is like the dishes. I would hear dishes clanking in the kitchen, and it's like you would do it on purpose, like banging the doors and putting the dishes away. And as a young kid, like you're like, oh fuck, like I got to go put the dishes away, and
Feeling guilty already because you're not doing something.
yeah, and but it would just be early as fuck in the morning, and you would think to yourself like, hey, I was gonna do it in the morning, but he would stay up all night, and and just you
Be like
know
4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, not the normal time to get up.
and later on I found out he was like doing drugs. And you know the older I got and things that I experienced, like I was like, yeah, he was definitely just coming down, taking it out on me. So
That
you know
sucks.
I guess like I understand, but I also like like me, like today I was at work and everybody was being a fucking asshole to me, and I'm like, dude, like when I do drugs and I go to work, like I'm not a fucking asshole, So it's like there's no excuse,
They
but
used to make me happier and
yeah,
more able to deal with the bartending or whatever I was doing.
but I also know that feeling when you want to be an asshole, But I just ever since I've just started like trying to spread love and peace and joy, it's like it's so easy for me to not do that, and so so I had to understand that sometimes you have to go through hell to know to experience heaven truly.
For sure, yeah. I think you have to go through bad times to really appreciate the good. Because I'm in a place in my life where I really appreciate the good. Like, I try to live in the moment and just appreciate each moment and enjoy life, whatever's going on around me at the time. I try to appreciate the moments, the hours, the days. They go by so fast.
Yeah,
So fast.
they do.
It's crazy. And, I've never really been able to live in the moment like that. And they call that mindfulness, paying attention. I don't know that I pay attention to it all the time, but I definitely try to. Because when you say about when you used to wake up angry, when I was younger, I would do that. Not all the time. I don't think I was like clinically depressed, but there'd be days I'd wake up and I'd just go immediately into the negative spiral and I'd think of everything, just all the bad stuff, all the bad stuff, all the bad stuff. And, on layer on top of layer on top of layer on top of layer until I'd almost be in tears, just overwhelmed and not even wanting to get out of bed because I didn't even know where to begin. My life seemed so devastatingly, just unbearably out of control.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even, it was like, I had at one point I had a brand new house built and I had, 2 little kids, and that was a lot. But I remember there being days during that time that I felt like that.
No, and I think even moments like this where we're talking about how happy we are, it almost feels weird. It's like taboo to us because we're so used to the chaos that we feel like we don't deserve this,
Mm-hmm.
And the hardest part about it is like sharing your happiness with other people who have been through the same situation and, saying like, hey, your situation, you know,
Can change, like letting them know that they can get to a point of happiness.
you know,
They're not always going to be sad and miserable.
and I just learned that like when you get into those bad moods, you're allowing them to have control over your life. And when you realize that you want to have control over your life, that's when, changes start to happen,
Mm-hmm. Because you are the only one that can control how you react to a situation. You're always going to have situations. You're always going to have people that piss you off, stupid things that happen in your life. But you're the only one who control how you react to it. You can
So
either
true.
be a miserable asshole or you can be try to stay happy and positive through it. And honestly, from experience, the more happy and positive you stay through it, the more happy and positive your life goes, because positivity breeds positivity and negativity breeds negativity. If you're negative all the time, it just seems like that's kind of the route that everything tends to go.
No, and yeah, I mean, that kind of brings up maybe our next topic is manifestation, and I truly believe in it, and I want to touch on the fact, like, you know, setting up this podcast, like being impatient, like the old me would have been like cussing you out or being an
Like, fuck you,
asshole.
we're not
Yeah.
going to even do it.
And then like, but
Because it took me a little bit to get everything set up.
but when you realize like, hey, like you're not helping the situation by doing that, how can I help? Okay, be patient. Okay, don't say anything mean. You know what I'm saying? Because I just wanted to express to you that I really wanted to talk about this because, I was going through a bit of anxiety, and like talking about this really calms me down because, I just want to share, everything that was on my mind. And now that we're talking about it, I'm like, okay, like I wasn't losing what I wanted to talk about. I was just getting a little impatient.
Mm-hmm.
And, sometimes you just have to take a deep breath. That's what I do. And like, just think about manifest positivity.
And think about, this moment is part, this is a moment in my life where I could choose to be miserable or happy. And I might as well be happy because you don't know how many moments you have left. I mean, there's so many things that could go wrong and happen to you, or, the whole planet could get blown up by an asteroid, or there's just so many things that could happen where we might not have we don't have unlimited moments.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, just yesterday I was locked up.
That's insane. He tells me the story. I couldn't believe it. He had a warrant in Orange County for what? For how many years? Years.
Yeah, they've been trying to get in contact with me for years.
Years. And when you had your little problem in Lake County, they didn't even find it. I mean, when you think these computer systems are somewhat connected.
Right. And it makes me think like they're just waiting for me to trip up. And that's like, what's right now. I know the smartest thing to do is like not drive home because the streets are empty. You know what I'm saying?
You'd be like a sitting duck out there.
And yeah, but like I'm safe here. And, because like, but that's scary because, like getting pulled over and just your whole like freedom flashing in front of your eyes. Like,
do you want to tell them why you're so worried about that?
Well, I'm so worried about
getting pulled over, like what you have going on with your case that you just had.
Oh, I mean, I'm on probation for I had a bunch of weed on me.
A pound.
And
so it was on felony
and
probation.
It's stupid because it wasn't even good weed. I couldn't sell it. And
you had it on the floor of the car.
I should have just left it, and then
I should have just let it go out the door of the car. On top of
that, I was smoking, listening to Young Dolph, and like they could just sniff that shit out, And
excuse me,
they pulled me over, and it all feels like those moments like happen for a reason, and like like it's scary, and like I'm just very thankful of like the people who have my back and got me out and stuff, because once you get in there, it's a crooked system,
mm-hmm.
and they want to.
Did I bail you out?
No, you came and picked me up though.
Oh, I picked him up. Yeah, I knew I had some little part of it.
Very appreciative of that. But,
you're welcome.
But then so driving the other day, I was like, what's taking so long, And I was worried because like, I did just have a beer, and I had a friend with me, so I was like, felt bad for them.
Oh, I would have been worried about the
and beer. They're just, they don't explain anything to you until you're in the back of that car.
And then they actually do.
And then and they're saying like, oh, we have to wait to see if and I'm like, just let's get it over with. You know what I'm saying? Like what, and
yeah, take me, Garrett. Let's get the party started. I want to get out of here.
But once I got there, I couldn't get a hold of anyone. The phone, only 2 phones worked. And if you don't know anyone's number or whatever, like
they don't let you look at your phone to get a number out, do they?
I mean, they do, but if they're nice,
they don't have to.
Yeah, they don't have to. So
I just can't believe you got 4 years of felony probation for weed.
Yeah.
In this day and age, that's how harsh Florida still is, folks, because I don't think it's like that everywhere else.
No.
And Florida's still harsh on drug laws. I was looking at the drug laws the other day because I was looking at something to see if you got caught picking psilocybin mushrooms, what your sentence was. And I didn't really find the answer to that, actually. But I found out that marijuana in the state of Florida is a Schedule I drug, as well as heroin, cocaine, I think meth is a Schedule 2, and weed is a Schedule 1. Weed is in the highest schedule of drugs, the most potent, hardest drugs. Weed is still in the state of Florida. Is that right?
No, I mean, yeah,
How could that be?
I mean,
Like like
because
math is a Schedule 2, and what was the stuff that was a Schedule 3 was like blowing my mind. Um, I'd have to look back at the list, but
yeah,
it just was crazy.
yeah, and I haven't smoked weed in over a month now, and I'm very proud of that, and that's a big reason why my mom's so proud of me and supportive of me, and came and picked me up last night. But you know, not everyone has somebody like that,
Yeah.
and but yeah, I mean, if they would have found any weed on me or whatever, I would, you know, they probably were hoping that they did,
Mm.
and that's
More
why
money for the
that's why I
system.
was smiling so hard in my picture because like I just knew I was going home, But even
His mugshot, he's smiling like he's happy as a clam.
but while I was in there, I just had a lot of time to reflect and to touch base back on what we were talking about. You know, it's so funny. But all I told myself is like, I was sent here for a reason, and I can't just thank God for the good moments. I have to thank Him, for the bad as well. And while I was in there, I really thought to myself that it was heavy on my heart that I, want to forgive everyone that's ever done wrong to me. And
That's nice.
we mentioned that earlier, and off microphone, and we both said it was like a very peaceful feeling. And I think you had an excerpt about
Hmm.
that.
And when I've always, well, I realized at a young age that holding something on your heart like that, like holding a grudge against somebody, it doesn't affect them, it affects you. And it's just resentment and negativity and stuff that you don't need to carry around. So you're better off forgiving the person. You don't have to forget, but you can forgive them, and then you feel better. But I actually found this, and I have my dad's old um, AA book, the Big Blue Book, from when he was in AA before he passed away. And there was this little excerpt in it, and I wanted to read it. It's called Decide to Forgive. Decide to forgive, for resentment is negative, resentment is poisonous, resentment diminishes and devours the self. Be the first to forgive, to smile, and to take the first step, and you will see happiness bloom on the face of your human brother or sister. Be always the first. Do not wait for others to forgive, for by forgiving, you become the master of fate, the fashioner of life, the doer of miracles. To forgive is the highest form of love. In return, you will receive untold peace and happiness.
Wow.
And the author is unknown.
So you found that where?
In my dad's AA book.
Yeah.
And I've always thought that. I've always thought that myself without having articulated it so nicely. So I thought that was perfect.
Yeah, that brings up a lot in my mind.
I bet it does when you have something like that happened to you like that. Like, gosh, I had to forgive my cousin for not paying. I lent her money off my credit card, and I had to fight with her about getting it paid back. And like, we didn't talk for 10 years over that. Like, that's just bullshit
Yeah.
compared to what, you're
Is she
thinking
still
about.
alive or?
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Hi, Kimberly. She lives in North Carolina. I love you.
If you're listening, that'd be awesome. No, and I mean, I honestly just want to take this moment and say, like, if this just,
And she did. I will say, real quick, she did pay it back.
Oh, she did.
She did. She did pay it back.
Yeah.
I did exonerate her. I didn't want to leave that hanging.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I'm anonymous here, so
A what?
Anonymous. Is that it?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I've always been very open about my life, and it just reminds me of when I got out of boot camp.
Because Shaggy was in the Navy.
Yeah, I was, and I did 4 years, and I ended up. Long story.
It was weed, the damn weed again.
Yeah, it was the weed, and
weed is like your nemesis.
I know, yeah, it is, and my my best friend turned on me, and it was just I was mad at the world, at that moment, and I came home and hung out with my mom, and we did stuff together that I never thought we would do, and we opened up to each other, and I just remember like being like, dude, I've always like wanted to like have this conversation with you, and I remember just telling her like I forgive you, and and she was just like she couldn't accept the forgiveness, and but once I
Did she think
told,
she didn't deserve to be forgiven?
yeah, for
Oh
sure,
wow, that's rough.
and I think that's something that is still in the back of her head,
Mm-hmm. It
and
probably always will be.
but
I don't know if you could shake that.
if I could forgive my mom, then I should be able to forgive my stepdad, and and I know you said earlier like that's bullshit, fuck him, and it's like I really do like saying that, like I do forgive him. I
No, I
mean,
think it's good. I think it's good for you to forgive him, but I don't think. I think you need to be careful how far you want to go.
no, I don't want to be friends. I don't want
Right.
to allow him back in my life, but I don't want him to have that power over me.
Exactly.
And so
No, I think forgiving him is beneficial to you.
like you said in the excerpt, like once you forgive, then you take control of power.
Mm-hmm.
And so like
And you get that off of you get that evil resentment, negativity off of your heart.
yeah, I mean, because for sure, like there's been nights that I'll stay up, I'll be drinking, and then
Drinking
I'll
and thinking.
I want to like reach out. I've drove looking for him before, and like whenever and when I get in those moods, my mom's just like so like fuck, like
Oh, I bet she freaks out.
yeah, and so
She just probably wants to put it all away.
yeah,
Like
and
not
so
deal with that closely. Do you know where he lives?
I have an idea, but like God says, like revenge, revenge is mine, and like I put it in God's hands, and once I truly did that and like said okay, like I'm gonna like focus on other things, I just have a whole new peaceful, joyful life. You know what I'm saying? And I could focus on other things. And
You got to leave it up to either God, however, whatever you believe in, either God or karma, or that karma's a bitch. And I've learned in that, boy, karma comes and gets people no matter what. It could take years, but it will get them. I don't know. It could be God, it could be karma, it could be the same exact thing. Probably is. But they will get theirs. Just desserts. They will get theirs. And you don't have to do a thing.
yeah, for sure.
Because if you do it, then you risk the opportunity of, possibly going to jail or whatever, depending on what you're going to do
Yeah.
for revenge. I mean,
And
that
that's
can
exactly
completely ruin
what
your own life.
that's exactly what the devil wants me to do.
Yeah.
And I think that part of forgiving him is showing that when you allow Jesus into your heart and can forgive someone like that, the devil's like his argument is no longer valid.
Mm-hmm.
Because like
Null and void.
if I have anger against him and don't forgive him, then he's like, you see, he's not following your rules. He should go to So it's like I truly believe that I had to like allow that forgiveness into my heart to take to grow.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, and that's part of being the bigger person.
Yeah, and so where I am now, it's like I don't really like talking about it or whatever because I know other people have similar situations and it brings up like triggering things. But I just hope that like me sharing my story could help other people like forgive people who have done them wrong in the past and live a better life.
And you could have a whole different aspect of it now. Like when you were younger, you would talk about what happened and focus on that part of it. And like you said, you used to do the trauma dumps and stuff like that. But like now, instead of talking about that part of it, you can talk about how it's made you a stronger person and how you've overcome the anger and how you've forgiven. And then you could be a real inspiration to those people that are still going through the trauma of it and trying to figure out their way and not knowing any of that they can get to that point.
Yeah.
And you can tell them that stuff. That'd be a great. I mean,
No, it's
you could do speaking engagements and stuff. I mean, you could do. That's like wide open. You could do all kinds of stuff really to help people.
Thank you.
You could.
I appreciate
amazing.
it. Yeah, I mean,
it's amazing. It's amazing not to be angry every day. Like I don't know if that'd be very, very difficult.
Yeah,
So
no,
I'm
I
happy
mean,
for you.
no, and I mean, like, you want me to share more about like my journey, or because I don't want to just cut off the conversation. People,
No, you're fine.
But yeah, I mean, I used to always like jump to anger, jump to joking around or ignoring things or pushing things off or whatever. And, you know, I've learned that like, talking about it, especially like with a therapist or on this podcast, it's not exactly trauma dumping and it's, it really helps. And I try to like stay away from making a joke out of it and saying, oh, like, let's move on or whatever,
because it's really not a joking matter.
No, yeah.
It's really not.
And
you use that as a deflection, so you don't have to think about it. You don't have to go into that dark place. I think, just to, it bounces off of you maybe better with the joke or.
Yeah. I mean, and I want to remind everyone that, when you start to like can't breathe and, I just like take deep breaths and think about the good in my life and like just ignore those thoughts because like they're just thoughts and
focus on your blessings.
Yeah.
Because ultimately we have control of our thoughts. And the more control you get over your thoughts, the better your life can be.
Yeah,
when you let your thoughts have control over you, it can be a mess, a quagmire. Because I had that issue when I was younger. I could not control my own brain. And that's just part of my mental illness, I think, because I'm bipolar.
Yeah.
And I didn't know I was until a few years ago, and I'm almost 50. So, in my 20s and 30s, I didn't know what I was going through. Up, down, this, there, negative, and I didn't know what was going on. And I didn't know how to deal with it, and it was hard.
Yeah, I mean, I always love to be transparent and talk about how I'm feeling right now. Like, I feel those negative thoughts coming in, like all the worries for tomorrow and all that. And I just keep on ignoring them and saying, like, enjoy this moment. Like, you're where you want to be. You're on, path,
and think about your blessings.
Yeah, and I like to talk about that. Like, I mean, my life is going good, and just the joy and like the happiness is worth millions, dollars.
Oh God. I'm so much happier. I think I'm the happiest I've ever been.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty close. I think so. I mean, I think my happiness has stemmed from my creativity and the things that I'm doing now, rather than being in the 9-to-5 rut of working. I think the 9-to-5 rut of working and, life was so difficult that there was no room for my brain to have any sort of creativity whatsoever. I didn't do anything creative. I didn't write poems. I didn't paint. I didn't do anything for like 25, 30 years.
Yeah. And now you finally are.
Yeah. Since I've quit working, I started painting. Then I went into writing. Then I went into advocating. Then I went into podcasting. I mean, it's crazy. I just have all these ideas every day. And I mean, if I had a team of people, I could get so much accomplished.
That's like kind of where my brain is right now. Like, and that's my new frustration. It's like, once you find that piece, then you have all these ideas. Like, I'm over here kind of like, oh, is this podcast, are we doing it right? Should we be talking about something, blah, blah, blah? Should we do jokes, songs, like whatever? Like, because
we definitely don't want to sing.
No, it's endless. And, like I was telling you the other night, I was sitting there trying to write a rap song. I was trying to write jokes, and then like you just like beat yourself up, and especially when you don't have a support system, and like, yeah, so like you were saying, like you share things and only 2 people like it, and that really beats you up, and it sucks. Or you try to show the person that you want to care the most, and they don't listen, or they don't give you feedback.
Or like, I would love to like tell people my ideas, and then have a bunch of people that are like media savvy or whatever say, oh, that's a great idea. I can help you with that. That's what I'm hoping and waiting for. Yeah. So if any of you are out there, please contact me at societaldeconstruction@gmail.com. That'd be great.
Or just like and subscribe and,
leave a review.
That'd be nice.
Send us a voice message.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
The website is societaldestruction.com, so that's easy. If you can spell those 2 words. Most people probably can. Societal.
You want to take an intermission?
Destruction.com. Yes, let's do that.
All right, cool.
We'll be back, folks. Societal Deconstruction Podcast is a podcast that thinks differently. STP wants to help our listeners think differently. Eventually, the whole world will think differently. Eradicate the hate and shame and stigma against people who are different and want to live life outside the norm of society. People like me and you that have thought past the status quo and the norm. Live your precious life the most sovereign way you can. Don't do what you think you are supposed to do. If it doesn't feel right, then it isn't. Always listen to your first instinct, that first punch in the gut. That is your intuition, and you can trust it. Travel, see the world, educate yourself about people, different cultures, different food, different places. Embrace the differences in humanity. We are all creatures of planet Earth. We are all born alone. We all die alone. We are all born naked without the constructs of society. The constructs of society are indoctrinated in us very early on. Once you open your eyes and understand, you will live your life in a completely new way. Freeing your mind and discarding the chains of society is so liberating. Life is precious. Life is beautiful. Life is short. Live it for yourself. Don't conform to society's norm. Do what you want, how you want, and when you want to do it. The best stories are life stories. Thanks for listening to Societal Deconstruction Podcast, and we'll be right back. Hey, everybody, welcome back to Societal Deconstruction Podcast with Boat and Shaggy. How's it going, Shaggy?
It's good.
Do you have a nice little break?
I did.
Good.
Not gonna lie.
Well, this month is October.
Yes.
It's finally starting to cool off in Central Florida. Thank ever-loving Jesus Christ Almighty. Oh my gosh.
It's beautiful weather.
It's been glorious. I actually went outside the other day for more than 20 seconds.
And if you knew her, that's crazy. Like,
That's a big
that
deal.
that means like the world is ending.
I used to go outside all the time, but I actually went outside and fucked around with my plants, and I repotted a couple of them and like shit like that.
Oh, that's nice.
It was nice. Yeah, it felt good.
Yeah, this kind of weather makes me want to go to a pumpkin patch.
Yeah. Not me. No. October 9th was Leif Erikson Day.
Who's that?
Who was Leif Erikson and why was he important? He was a Viking, I believe.
From when?
Let's find out. Shit. Oh, this is dumb. Here we go. Check out the Viking boat. That's cool.
So was he Swedish?
It's true. The arrival of Leif Erikson and his Vikings in North America over 1,000 years ago didn't really change history, but they did mark something significant. Leif's explorations never led to permanent settlement. Only a few pieces of physical evidence have been found to corroborate the Viking presence. What we are celebrating, therefore, is a historic encounter between Europeans and North Americans. One could say it was the original family reunion. They landed in Newfoundland, which is eastern Canada, northeastern Canada. Yeah, where were they from exactly, the Vikings? I think they were from Norway. What, Norway, Sweden?
Yeah.
That type of thing. It was in or around the year 1000. Huh. What would they say?
I believe the Vikings are from Sweden because I'm half Swedish and my grandma.
I'm Swedish too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
On my grandmother's side, on my mom's side. It says the rough-mannered Vikings called the native people Skrælings. Look, that looks like a Swedish word.
Yeah.
Sweden. Yeah. I think they were Norwegian as well. Oh, they were from Greenland.
So when is Leif Erikson Day?
That was on the 9th, I believe. October 9th. So we missed it. It says October 9th is a busy day with 3 more holidays packed into it. Canadian Thanksgiving, Columbus Day, and Indigenous Peoples Day. That's cool. That's cool since we took all of their fucking land and treated them like complete garbage.
Yeah.
It's nice that we give them one day of the year now to celebrate what we did to them. Lovely.
The Native Americans?
Native Americans and any people that were here when Columbus came and we destroyed them all.
Isn't that crazy how like they had it figured out? Like life was perfect.
Mm.
And then we came here and just ruined it.
Well, yeah, we brought diseases. We killed them all off. We killed them to take their land. We didn't give a shit. I think we were kind of assholes, to be honest. And see what else we have in October. We have October 18th is St. Luke's Little Summer. This is a date steeped in folklore.
So you want to talk about the holidays in October?
St. Luke's Feast Day. I'm just reading what's on the almanac. October 24th is United Nations Day, which aims to bring awareness to the work of the United Nations worldwide. And then October 31st is what?
Halloween.
Yes. And I read something really cool the other day. It said, Halloween is when the veil between the worlds of the living and the dead is thinnest.
That's creepy.
I know. I thought that was creepy too. I thought it was cool.
I don't really like Halloween.
I love Halloween.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's great. You're scaredy. You're like scaredy cat.
I mean, I like dressing up and stuff, but like
I don't like dressing up.
some of
I
the,
just like Halloween because it's kind of a fun holiday.
some of the costumes are scary.
I like Halloween and I like Thanksgiving. Christmas can go fuck itself.
What?
I hate Christmas.
Oh, presents and gifts and
Pain in the
family?
ass. I like the family. I like the food. Presents
Yeah.
are just annoying. I don't like to be told what to do.
Yeah.
So telling me that I have to buy presents on that specific day chaps my ass.
I'll
buy them when I want to.
You like giving gifts or getting?
Giving, I don't like giving them.
Yeah.
I don't need anything. When people ask, my mom always asks me, "What do you want for Christmas?" I'm like,
You don't know.
I don't know, an 8-ball.
We can say that on here.
I don't know. Yeah, sure. We can say whatever we want on here.
Yeah.
I'm just joking anyway. Well, some really good acts to see from the 90s.
That'd be nice for
Yeah.
Like, what do you
We had
really
great
want for
Christmas
Christmas?
gifts. Yeah.
What do you
That-
really want?
That.
Bottle, alcohol.
No alcohol. I don't drink.
No.
No. I don't need clothes. I don't need a gift card. I have so many clothes that I can go months without doing laundry. Literally.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't really go to restaurants. I'd rather cook at home. Yeah, I wouldn't mind a gift card for a grocery store, honestly.
Some EBT.
Yeah, because the food's so expensive nowadays. It's stupid expensive.
Yeah, like someone to cook for you.
You know what I really liked? When Blake was here, my roommate, and we got those stupid HelloFresh. They weren't stupid. They were great. Those HelloFresh meal boxes. Those things were amazing. They came with all the ingredients and the recipe. All you had to do was prep, like cut up your vegetables or your meat and follow their little instructions to the letter. Everything came out done at the same time, and every single one of them was phenomenal. There was not one that I didn't like. And I tried like 20 of them.
I tried to bake a cheesecake the other day. It was super hard.
Oh, I made cheesecakes. They're easy. What was
Really?
hard about it? Yeah.
Well, I dropped it on the floor, first of all.
Did you have a springform pan?
No, I didn't. I'm not a baker.
I'm not a huge baker either, but I did once. I had the kids and stuff. I had started making like holiday desserts and stuff. Like for Thanksgiving, I would make like a caramel pecan cheesecake, take over to the in-laws. And I had to get a springform pan because to make a real cheesecake,
Yeah,
you need a springform pan. I have one if you ever want to borrow it.
I do need to borrow it.
Yeah, I have one.
But yeah, I made one and
Or they're like $7.99 at Target or Walmart.
I dropped it on the floor. My mom was making it for her boyfriend. And
She's got a boyfriend now?
well, kinda. But she thought I made a
Is he
whole
black?
new one. Yeah, of course.
Ah,
She
Mom!
thought- she
Get
thought
it.
She thought I made a whole new one, but I just used the one I dropped at the floor.
What did you drop? Where was it when you dropped it? What was it in?
I get home, she's ranting about how she's been working on this all day, and she's in a happy mood. And I was trying to make my food and watch the game, and I set it on top of the air fryer. It was in like the pan.
But not the springform pan.
No. And then I just heard a crash. And I just
What kind of pan was it in? Like a pipe?
Like a
pipe
9-inch or I don't know. Like a round pan.
Like a pie plate.
I guess.
Okay.
But I heard it fall and I'm just like
Did it break? Was it glass?
no, but she just was like devastated. And I like had to pick it up with cutting board. And she's like, just forget it. And then she just got in a shitty mood. And then she's like, all right, make me a new one. So I just used the one that fell on the floor
How'd you get it off the floor?
with two like cutting boards.
Ew.
I mean,
Was the floor clean?
yeah. I mean,
Sort of.
I eat stuff off the floor.
I do too. I will. 30-second rule.
Yeah,
Mhm.
5-minute rule. I have a 22
I had a
minute
17-minute rule.
rule. No, but yeah,
2-day rule. I'll eat pizza that's been sitting on the counter for 3 days.
I would too.
I don't like it in the fridge. It gets all gummy and gross. I leave it on the counter. Most leftovers I leave on the counter. I will leave them overnight and then eat them the next day. I don't like to put them in the fridge because everything gets all congealed.
I would eat after a homeless person. People at my job are like, "What do you recommend?" I'm like, "Dude, I just ate a chicken wing out of the trash can."
That's great.
I don't know if you want to trust my recommendations.
Yeah, we'll eat out of a puddle.
Yeah.
I'll lick water out of a brown puddle if I'm thirsty enough.
But what do you remember any of your Halloween costumes? Do you have any favorites?
Oh, wow. Yes. Yes, I do. Oh, my God. I don't know what the hell we were thinking, but my friend Marcy. Hey, Marcy, if you're listening, that'd be great. Shout out to Marcy up in Western New York. Me and Marcy, I think we were in fifth grade. Fifth grade, I think. Fourth or fifth. Let's say fifth.
Yeah.
We decided to be hookers.
Oh, so you just wore regular clothes?
No, we got heels.
Yeah.
We had these like strappy heels and slutty, like a slutty dress or skirt, slutty shirt, and up there it's cold.
Yeah.
So we were freezing because we were in like barely any clothes, and I just remember losing a shoe, the heel breaking on the other shoe. Those shoes were a bad deal to go walk around, hoof around the whole neighborhood of the town.
Yeah.
And you don't hoof around the neighborhood; you hoofed around the whole town. When I was a kid, we didn't have those developments.
Right.
It was a town of houses, so we huffed around the whole town. And I lost a shoe, broke a heel. Those heels were a bitch. I don't like heels to this day. But yeah, that was fun. We were fun. Oh, and we wore slutty makeup. But I mean, we were trying to be slutty at we were like 9 years old.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I mean, we weren't like 15. We were like 9. What were we? What were you thinking? And we used to take pillowcases to put our candy in. We were too cool for a plastic pumpkin. Like, we weren't doing that no more.
Yeah.
We did pillowcases. And then we'd take shaving cream and eggs and freaking toilet paper. We'd mess some shit up.
Little hooligans.
We were little hooligans. We messed some shit up. And then we would mess each other up, though. We'd all go, like, throw eggs at each other and shaving cream each other. The shaving cream everywhere.
What's your favorite candy?
Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, hands down.
It's a good one.
Yeah, what about you? I just had some this morning for breakfast. I had 3 for breakfast.
Sour Patch. Swedish Fish, Sour Patch.
Swedish Fish suck.
Fuck you.
Sour Patch are good.
My grandma used to give me Swedish Fish.
Well, that's why you like them. They don't have any flavor whatsoever.
They're just like Sour Patch without the sour.
They got nothing. They don't even taste like cherry.
They're good, though.
Oh, yuck. Yeah, my grandma that just passed away was half Swedish and half English.
Really?
Yep. Shout out to Grandma Sue Schindel.
Oh, yeah.
Her maiden name was Crandall.
R.I.P.
Yeah, I can't believe she's gone. She was my Grammy.
Well, I'm really glad that we were able to do this podcast.
I know, me too. It was great. It was fun.
Yeah.
Just kind of chillaxing.
Yeah, got to get one out to the fans. They've been
sorry, fans, too, if we didn't really have a
but we're gonna do
topic. More. We're gonna start amping it up a little bit. I've been really busy with the George case, and I've been really sick, so that's been hard to get it done. But we're gonna try to do better here at SDP because we know we want to give our fans what they want. Our 3 fans,
and that's what today was about.
Shout out to Justine, our number 1 fan.
Yeah, shout out.
We love you. We appreciate you, and we appreciate all our other listeners too. So, if you guys like the podcast, or I guess even if you don't, go to the website, societaldeconstruction.com. Leave us a review. We now have several, so it looks really cool. Thank you, everybody. But yeah, leave us a review or just go on the website, societaldeconstruction.com. Check it out. If you want to be a guest, you can register to be a guest. You can listen to all the episodes on the website, all 15 of them. This was episode 15. And next time, I think we will probably be talking about the George case. We're going to start getting into that. And I'm going to let you guys know what I've been working on for the last year. It's really interesting.
It really is.
It is. So, yeah, tell a friend, post on social media, follow, subscribe, like. What else can they do?
Comment.
Thank you so much, everybody, for listening to Societal Deconstruction Podcast, SDP. Hope you all had a great night with us. We definitely did too. And tune in to us next time for episode 16.